Hi, for our new friends on this channel, I'm Nishita Ganeshwamy and I have scored a 670 in NEET 2021. Today we all are here to do some bitching about physical chemistry. It is a tad bit tiresome, isn't it? Well, let's see what we have on our plate here. So there's SBC, states of matter, thermodynamics, equilibrium, solid state, solutions, electrochemistry, chemical kinetics, and surface chemistry. Now that's plenty, so let's just part that out. So in part 1, we have SBC and states of matter. These are simply formula based, especially the mole concept, okay? So you can very well make a cute little formula notebook, revise it more often, and obviously practice some numericals. But I do agree that when it comes to the states of matter, there are some parts that will be taking up a lot of your mind space, like the velocities and the graphs, anti-isotherms, compressibility factor, one-to-one corrections, and last but not the least, the intermolecular forces. But once you're done understanding these points, the chapter will be just as easy. Have faith. And also make sure that you remember the formula for the mean free path, and it won't be a bad idea to go over NCERT for this chapter. With that said, let's move on to our next part. The second part consists of the most toxic chapters like the thermodynamics, equilibrium, and electrochemistry. Starting with thermodynamics, the first thing you got to do is distinguish the thermodynamics of physics from that of chemistry. Just know the basic differences. Okay, let me make work easy for you. There are these two things that you need to remember. In chemistry, W is equal to minus P delta V, and in physics, W is equal to plus P delta V. But there is this one formula common to both of them, which is Q is equal to U plus P delta V, and this makes Q is equal to U minus W in chemistry and Q is equal to U plus W in physics. Just remember this one formula and navigate the others using this one. Here I am also going to write down the particular formulas used in all the processes so that you can have them clarified at one place. You can also write them down in your notebook and keep revising them for easy recall in examination. I hope it helps. Then there's free expansion, which takes place in vacuum, making P external is equal to 0, which simultaneously makes the work as 0. As we all know, free expansion is an isothermal, adiabatic, and irreversible process. Isothermal meaning delta U is equal to 0, adiabatic meaning Q is equal to 0, and irreversible meaning that we use the formula of minus P external delta V for work, which makes it 0. The chapter equilibrium is divided into chemical equilibrium and ionic equilibrium, the chemical part being a bit easier than the ionic one because it just has the Le-Chatelier's principle, Kc, Kp values, and some basic related formulas which you can easily remember. But when it comes to ionic equilibrium, there is the pH calculators and the buffer solution, simultaneous solution, saturation point. There is a lot to remember and so many formulas for each specific category. So you can make some 3 to 4 pages having all the formulas, all the classifications that you can carry around and revise them as often as you can. And you can also make this diagram in your notebook somewhere. You can take the screenshot here. It is very useful. You can also write the formulas around it so that it is pretty easy for you to remember. But once you are done revising it and practicing a hell lot of numericals, that is when you will be totally done with ionic equilibrium. But please don't skip it because it is very, very important. If a question of ionic equilibrium comes in the examination, you ought to do it because in the exams they are pretty, sure to put up an easy question because the topic is hard. Next we have the solid state and solutions. These chapters are memory based for most of the parts, so I would definitely suggest you to swallow up NCERT for them, especially this table containing all the A's, B's and C's, alphas, betas and gammas, and all the various examples. It is expected of you to remember all of them. You can go onto YouTube, check on some videos, or your tuition teacher or your coaching teacher might have some tricks, or your college teacher might give you some tricks to remember these, but you cannot skip it. It's a very important point of this chapter, so you should remember it. Okay, there are some bonus points for you over here. Bonus point number 1, HBr shows both Frenkel and Schottky effects. Bonus point number 2, for every centimeter cube there are like 10 to the power 22 ions and 10 to the power 6 Schottky pairs, which means that there is one Schottky pair every 10 to the power 16 ions. Oh my god, I said it right. Thank me later. These are the parts given in NCERT. If you knew them already,
Oh my god, you're brilliant. But if you didn't know them, make sure you know them. And do not forget the magnetic properties, the examples of ferromagnetism, antiferromagnetism, paramagnetism, and whatnot, because questions are directly asked from there. Okay. Moving on to our next chapter, that is the solution. Now this chapter is pretty big too, and there are a lot of points to understand, remember, and solve in this chapter. This chapter consists of pretty much everything, but I think I can make a bit of it easier for you if you can remember the positive deviations and the negative deviations. I have made a small little discovery over there, and I think it will help you. Let's see what that is.
Negative deviation solutions are formed by the compounds that mix really well with each other, and as we can gather from the examples given here, the compounds containing either of Cl, O or N in both of the compounds tend to form these kind of solutions. So whenever there's a question and you find these elements in the compounds, you'll be taking negative deviation solutions. But if this is not the case, your obvious answer would be the positive deviations. But as always, there is an exception here too, which is chloromethane and benzene, though not containing the common elements, will still be forming a negative deviation solution.
Lastly, we have the 4 colligative properties and the most unavoidable Van 't Hoff factor. Take it or leave it, but this is the soul of the chapter, so do not make the terrible mistake of taking it lightly or skipping it for God's sake. Moving on, we have chemical kinetics and surface chemistry. I would say read real deep through NCERT because you never know which fact is hidden in there. Speaking of chemical kinetics, be sure to remember all those typical examples of the first and second order reactions. Be keen on the graphs and the formulas, especially the Arrhenius equation, and please avoid silly mistakes because this chapter is highly prone to silly mistakes. Okay, once in an examination, a question was asked to find the dimensions of the rate of the reaction, and it was a first order reaction, so I did all of it, mole to the power 1 minus n, liter to the power n minus 1, and second to the power minus 1. I used it. I found it for the first reaction. I kept n is equal to 1. I finally got the reaction h to the power minus 1. I ticked it, but then I realized that they had asked me the dimensions for the rate of reaction, and rate of reaction is always constant, mole per liter per second. They did not ask me the dimensions for the rate constant of the reaction. Okay, no matter how silly your mistakes is, it will still cost you your 5 marks if you do it wrong. Okay, so be sure you're reading your questions correctly and you're very confident on your equations and your dimensions. Next we have the surface chemistry. I personally believe that this chapter should be in the territory of inorganic chemistry. I mean, look at it. It has tons of facts on a load full of memorization. Like seriously, and you still have to do it because you need a good rank, right? Okay, let's find a bit of fun point over here. You do not have to remember all the examples under the homogeneous and the heterogeneous catalysis. Just know that all the named reactions like the Haber's process, the contact process, or the Ostwald's reaction, or the hydrogenation, like all of these named reactions come under the heterogeneous catalysis, and the rest of them come under homogeneous catalysis. It's very nice that if you have known this beforehand, but if you didn't know this, I think it will be kind of a good help because there are a lot of reactions given in NCERT that you'll have to memorize if you don't know this. As you might already know, there are a lot of tables in this chapter, all of which you'll have to memorize, especially this table over here which has liquid, solid, gas, emulsion, foam, Puget stones, gemstones, color stones, oh my god, so many stones. But you'll have to memorize them. So as always, making life easier for you, I'm here with this video on YouTube, which is really useful, for remembering all of this. So feel free to go on the link given in the description and check that video out, and then you'll never forget that table ever again. Now we are only left with Ross reactions. This is a very small chapter and not at all much trouble. But if you have not done with it, then you can go on to Physics Wala. He has uploaded like 3 videos on his YouTube channel, and they are more than enough. But after that, you will also want to read NCERT because no matter whichever source you're using for learning this chapter, there might be a few points that they skip but are present in NCERT, like the carbon suboxide, the C3O2 compound, or the Br308. If you know about these compounds already, then you're very good, you're keeping up with NCERT. But if you don't know them, then it is a very right time for you to go and look at your NCERT once and mug up all the points or understand them. On the end note, I would just like to say that go make a formula notebook, revise it often, practice some numericals, revise those numericals. You can do it the same way as I mentioned in my physics video and you'll be done with your physical chemistry. Believe me, it's no biggie, just the initial path is rough, but after that it is smooth as silk. All the best.